This week in space news, Relativity Space hard at work testing their new engines. ABL has a setback with our RS-2 vehicle. Axiom astronaut core grows. And finally, a brand new space startup called Starcatcher. Let's get started with our first story. Relativity Space hot fire tests. Relativity Space has been hard at work test firing their new engines. In 1 week, they have completed 10 full-duration TCA hot fires. TCA stands for Thrust Chamber Assembly. TCA is a key component in rocket engines, responsible for containing the high-pressure combustion of propellants that generates thrust. Think of it as the heart of the rocket engine. That's where the magic happens. 4 of the hot fire tests were at full power. Relativity Space is hard at work qualifying its engines for its upcoming Terran-R orbital vehicle, a medium launch vehicle similar to SpaceX's Falcon 9 that is fully reusable. Next up, a setback for space startup ABL and their RS-2 vehicle. ABL's RS-2 vehicle is destroyed on the launch pad. A pre-flight static fire test caused a pad fire which resulted in the loss of the vehicle. This is bad news for ABL that has been struggling to get its orbital vehicle off the pad without causing catastrophic damage. ABL's first launch attempt, RS-1, was in January 2023. The vehicle took off, but almost immediately a fire broke out in the engine compartment that severed a connection to the avionics system. This resulted in the rocket falling back to the launch pad and completely destroying it, since the vehicle was full of fuel. It took them almost 1.5 years before they were ready to try again with the RS-2 flight. This time they managed to destroy their RS-2 vehicle pre-flight. Let's hope they have the financial support needed to continue building and testing launch vehicles. According to Wikipedia, they have 4 launches scheduled in 2024 and 70 plus launches sold, mostly to Lockheed Martin. It's likely there will be a long delay before they are ready for another launch attempt. In our next news segment, we have more positive news. Axiom Space welcomes British astronaut Tim Peake to its Astronaut's Corps. Tim Peake, a well-known British astronaut, well at least with British space cadets, has been chosen by Axiom to join them as a strategic advisor for the all-UK human spaceflight mission. He will be involved in securing funding for the UK space exploration effort. The idea for this mission is that it will be a commercially sponsored mission that provides a new way of funding space missions. Michael Lopez Algria, the Axiom Space chief astronaut, said, "We are thrilled to welcome Tim Peake to Axiom Space. His vision and guidance will be invaluable as we work to make this all-UK mission a reality. Partnering with the UK Space Agency on this historic endeavour underscores our collective commitment to redefining access to space, unlocking low Earth orbit's true potential for nations and industries around the world." Although this is expected to be a commercially funded mission, the UK Space Agency announced £15 million, that's approximately $90 million US, could be made available for British science and technology to fly to space, should the proposed UK mission progress as planned. Tim said, "I am excited to join Axiom Space and contribute to this pioneering effort. An all-UK mission represents a significant opportunity for our country to establish a strong presence as well as a leadership role in the commercial space sector. I look forward to working with Axiom Space and the UK Space Agency to advance this exciting possibility." Tim Peake, a former European Space Agency astronaut, was the first British astronaut to visit the International Space Station. We'll be following along with this story, and it'll be interesting to see whether an Axiom mission to the International Space Station can be commercially funded. Okay, on to our last story of this week, a brand new space startup with a unique business plan. Starcatcher wants to develop the first off-Earth energy grid in space. Starcatcher, a Florida startup, has received $12 million US in funding to help develop the first off-Earth energy grid. The founder said, "We're confident Starcatcher will do for orbital power what SpaceX has done for launch." Well, that's a bold claim. It wants to design power beaming satellites. That is a satellite that uses solar panels to generate and store electrical energy, and can then beam that energy to another satellite. After all, companies don't generate their own power on site. They have a contract with an energy company and receive energy from them. Why not do the same in space? That's the idea anyway. One of the investors in Starcatcher, Andrew Sather, said, "What they're building has potential to transform the economics, capabilities, and even configuration of most everything we put into orbit. Satellites could be designed to have smaller solar panels, meaning lower weight, potentially lowering rideshare costs. Power node satellites launched by Starcatcher orbit at 900 miles or 1,500 kilometers in altitude. These craft will soak up solar energy and, for a price, beam that energy to customer satellites in usable form. It's an intriguing idea and has potential to reduce launch costs for other satellite operators. As always, we'll keep you informed on their progress. Okay, that's it for this news roundup. Be sure to like and subscribe so you'll see our upcoming videos. We make videos every week covering the space industry with an emphasis on the smaller space startups that aren't covered so well on other channels. See you soon.